statistically, social media and doom scrolling addiction has been a huge problem for at least almost a decade. And I'm not gonna beat around the bush, but at first, I want you to understand that why do you even need to quit or reduce the screen time usage in the first place so that at least you would have some inducements to quit it? Since many people have been asking me in the comment sections, but this video I'm gonna summarize whatever that I have learned myself. And I mean, I have failed 4 or 5 times throughout my whole life, but this time is for real. Like, I don't feel the need to use it. Whenever that I have a chance to use it, I still chose not to, and I'm gonna tell you how. So let's get into it. The first thing that you need to understand is that you will never be able to quit it successfully if you don't have a replacement for it. It can be literally anything. To me, back then I can quit it because I went to the gym, but it still failed since when I got home, I would still have like free time, right? After like 8 p.m. until like 10 or midnight. So at least what I would suggest you to do now is listening to podcast first and foremost, whatever that you are interested in or learn something new. It can be like a language, but don't force yourself to like, I'm gonna spend like 4 hours learning German. Hell no, bro. Because this exact thing that you are going to replace it with, it must be sustainable. Otherwise, you would revert to your old addiction habits. I completely understand that since, I myself have failed countless times, as I said before. So make sure that it is not too extreme. I know that you would feel proud and, you know, motivated to quit it strongly in the beginning, but don't forget that not every day that you would have like 4 or 5 hours. Some day you just simply wanting to rest. So don't be too strict about your schedule or your habits that much. I personally still like scroll, but just when I'm actually like free or I have finished my tasks, that's it. You can literally like spend your time with your family or watch a movie. At least it is better than like doom scrolling. My second point would be understanding about neuroplasticity. I know that it is some freaking technical thing, but if you don't watch it until here, I swear to God, like, there is a high chance that you would fail since this is, you know, about like the core of your addiction. You need to understand that your brain, it doesn't know shit. Whatever that you do repeatedly or think repeatedly, it can be negative, positive. Since, okay, let me tell you first, what is neuroplasticity? It is just a freaking mechanism in your brain. So it rewards your habits that you repeatedly do or think, as I said before. It can be anything. If you always feel great after running or going to the gym, it means that you get dopamine out of it. And as time goes by, you go to the gym every single day, you don't feel forced anymore. To you, it is very natural for you to go there. I mean, it's kind of weird way to put it, but to you, it just another mundane, like usual activity, just the same with sleeping, brushing your teeth, or eating. So it's not something that you do it occasionally. Same way with like using your phone. So I understand that it is extremely tempting to doom scroll when you have free time. For example, when you are on a bus, when you are working and you want to sneak out a bit, go to a toilet or in the back of like your, I don't know, like restaurant, and just doom scroll a little bit to release your stress from your coworkers or your boss, because it doesn't require effort and you can do it anywhere and anytime. That's why it is really addictive. You would literally get instant dopamine and endless gratification. See, like, every new video. Wait, my bad. I think that's kind of weird way to put it. I would say that, like, first video could be funny, you can laugh about it. Second video could be melancholic. You would contemplate about your depression, maybe someone abandoned you, etc. And the third video might be something very instructive. You learn a new, what, manipulative, psychological technique. So you can see it here. It is like you are learning something randomly as a result. Even if you doom scroll for an hour, I bet you don't even remember at least 10 or 15 videos out of it. You would probably say that, like, of course not. I saw like at least 100 videos. How am I gonna remember that? Yeah, and that's the point. You can see it right here that it is kind of pointless and time consuming. And most importantly, you would be a slave of um doom scrolling or social media. You feel the need to check up on people's stories. You need to like keep up with the world. But don't forget that these things are impermanent. One day, these people are going to live their life. They might stop using social media. You might not like them anymore. Maybe they change, or maybe you change. So when your belief or ideology changed, you kind of feel compulsory to change your domain. For example, if you first loved like fitness like content, but now you enjoy music more, you might unfollow those like fitness influencers and now like follow artists instead. That kind of thing. So, wow, I digressed a little long, but I mean it is relevant. So you need to understand it, that whenever that you are on like a bus or you can use it. I understand that, like, bro, but it's just like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe like when you're in like a classroom or a family gathering, whatever, you should resist the urge, because if you were to use it every single time when you have a chance, your brain perceives is it as something important. Consequently, you will always do it and do it over and over again. You don't even notice that you do it, but your brain, it knows that if you do it, you would get dopamine. So why not? So you need to trick it. I mean, you probably thinking that like I'm like hallucinating or something, but it actually worked. When you know that I actually want to quit, and if I were to grab my phone and scroll even just a minute or check my notifications, and I know that my brain would want to do it again next time when I have a chance, then I'm not gonna do it because I'm serious about quitting it. Therefore, you shouldn't do anything at all. Essentially, you are kind of wasting your time just, observing your environment, listening to people talking, or just looking at the nature or whatever it is in front of you, even though there is nothing. Or when you are waiting in like a queue, you shouldn't still like grab it. At least like in the beginning of it, like phase one, maybe like in the first couple months. So at least you would understand how your relationship with it um goes first. I mean, at the beginning it would be quite tough. So you need to understand that if you do it, your brain would encourage you to do it. It is unconscious, so the only thing that you can do is deliberately choosing not to open your phone. I know that it's difficult, but I mean, it is all like up to you. I can only suggest from my experiences. That's all. And I think your life would be way better. You would have more time. I promise you. You would have more time to um read a book, working out, or learning something new, or doing something that you have wanted to do, ice skating, or going to clubs. I mean, it's like a bad suggestion, but I mean, I don't know what you want, man. So just do something like that you want. But I understand that this like the biggest problem. I mean, if you watch until here, it's kind of like um at least like it's really great since I think it's like one of the most important things, which is that after our like work or school, we would have free time, right? Maybe like after 6 7 p.m. we have finished everything, eating, showering, working out, yada yada. So we would be sitting in our room, and we have nothing to do, and we don't plan to go outside. It is already dark, right? So what I would usually do is making content. So I mean, you're not gonna I understand that not everyone would do the same thing, but I'm pretty sure at least you can try to like learn something new from the internet, or replace it with, yeah, I think this one is a good one. Damn, I should have mentioned it before. I feel bad for people who have closed like my video already. Genuinely, is replacing it with like watching or listening to long form content. Why? Because you strengthen your attention span, since many people nowadays they literally can't stare like like looking at like the wall for 3 minutes. I know someone in my university, I swear to God, this is a true story. He has many devices, like many phones, got like an iPad. He I remember that he like uses two phones simultaneously, like left and right, and just doom scrolling. I swear to you, this is not a joke. He his attention like span is extremely cooked, since I'm being for real that he was my close friend, and he cannot like concentrate for not even like decent or like on the moderate levels, like 10 minutes at most, listening to my teachers lecturing, then he feels the need to go outside. Or if he doesn't like go outside, he would use his phone constantly texting or just like doom scrolling. And consequently, he doesn't understand anything about, you know, whatever that my teacher taught us. Then he would get like low grades. I'm not trying to condemn him, but I'm saying like right now that it is really a huge problem. Even like my teacher, he himself admits that he cannot quit like doom scrolling, even though he knows that it is bad. And I'm pretty sure that it is the same with almost everyone. I was one of that myself too, but as I said, replace it with something and watch or listen to long form content instead. Something that you enjoy. It can be like a novel or music. I personally don't listen to music or like, so I might not get it that much. I quit it. This is like a digression again. So don't give a shit about it. So yeah, I personally just listen to something that is useful, educational, to strengthen my knowledge. I mean, maybe you can even try to do an online business. There are so many things, UGC or selling some digital products by someone's cause to make money. So this would be the time that you would have leisure for real. I'm thinking whether I have said everything already. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, this might be additional, but I think this is also one of the main reasons why people cannot quit it, even though they already like do whatever that, I recommended. As I said, like no BS, I'm telling you what I actually did and it worked for me. So it might work for you. But don't forget that at the end of the day, you can adjust it like as which if you think that if you adjust this or that, maybe like, I don't know, if you study for 20 minutes, then you are allowed to use social media for 15 minutes. So it would encourage you to learn something new. But I think I've done it before when I was 17. It didn't work quite well since I didn't have energy to study every day. Some days I want to rest. So consequently, I just, reverted to doom scrolling, like lying to myself that, nah, just a little bit, like 10 minutes, and then just gonna get out of it. And then, boom, just a single blink, and it was already like an hour or two. Fuck. I'll get back to what I wanted to add. Fuck. I was digressed a little bit, but I mean, it is all relevant, so I'm not like telling you some BS. Is that many people they have notifications from like their friends, their family, their partner, whatsoever. I mean, it is your own choice to set boundaries with them. Of course, like you can like answer their call or like reply to their messages, but after doing that, just try to be conscious with your current action. The moment that you decide to like doom scroll, keep in mind that you wouldn't be able to quit it if you were to keep doom scrolling, since your brain, it rewards you by giving you dopamine, even though, you know, like you don't want, you want to get rid of this habit like permanently. I understand that you might not be able to quit it permanently, since it is extremely vital in our contemporary era to like be like on social media. We might use it to communicate with like people, as I said before, or work, or learn something new. I mean, if you don't use it, you are essentially a caveman. But I would say that the reason why this time I quit it successfully, partially it is because I don't talk to anyone. So I promise you, zero notifications on daily basis. No morning text from like anyone, not friend, no friends, calling me or anything. I mean, like, I have like my best friend, but he doesn't live closer to me. So, we just talk like time to time. On daily basis, I don't feel the need to go on social media to check my DMs, since it is no one. I'm not trying to like brag about like, anything about like me being like in solitude, but I would say that it definitely helps you to be off of it. As I said, just replace it with something else. I mean, at this point, I'm just talking about the same thing. So I'm just gonna end this video now. I hope that you get something like out of it. Just don't forget that your brain doesn't know shit. So just don't use it. I'm not trying to like, I mean, I'm telling that, but you know it. If you actually want to quit it, just don't use it whenever you have free time. Think about it as more like you are trying to regain your tranquility and your free will, like the self, so that you wouldn't be a slave of social media. We as human, we do like many things on like autopilot. When you are driving like back home or going to work, if the traffic is not horrible, you can literally like, just looking at the road and then just like doing it like this and thinking about something else, and then another blink, once you notice, you already like there, whether it's like your home or your workplace. Same thing with like phone, you don't consciously decide that I am going to grab my phone and then grab it and then decide whether you should like open it or not. You just like do it, right? Naturally, instinctively, like say, oh, I said that I'm gonna end this video, but a little more, okay? My bad, but I'm not gonna cut it. So people have their habit in the morning to like grab like for their phone, because they do it every day, just like to check, oh, did my boyfriend text me, or did that girl, text me, or, did anything good happen today? And then just like check it a little bit, 5-10 minutes, and then just like got out of bed, etc. I mean, just I myself, I would admit that, I still like check my phone, since it is quite like crucial, but I can guarantee you that I don't doom scroll like when I wake up. So just understand what, mm, what should I say? Social media deprives you of your potential free time to do something productive. If you want to regain your freedom, you need to regain the self first. Damn, it is quite profound. No script. So it's just like that. You were doing it for yourself. You know that it is bad. It is not inherently bad, but it has a negative connotation because people often misuse it. So you don't want to be another victim of it, but I can say that many people have successfully quit it since I have seen a dramatic like change in like you know in terms of like viewership on like YouTube, TikTok, or I don't know, Instagram Reels. I mean, like at least YouTube, I'm pretty sure people, but maybe like I don't know, but I have seen like many people they are living their lives now, don't give a shit about social media. So yeah, I think that's pretty much overall quite long. I didn't intend to make it this long, but it is like all like for you guys since I really want you to do successfully, and I hope that some of my suggestions helps you. And thanks a lot for watching until here. If you like my videos, you can you know, like and comment anything, any suggestion, or what you want me to like adjust. You can criticize me. I'm fine, open-minded, pretty chill. So that is pretty much overall, and see you in the next video.